Alright, hello. This is going to be a video of showing how to do different details on your forms or your boxes. You can do it for forms in space, you can do it for your cityscape, but I'm going to show you how to do some doors, windows, and kind of some accents on your forms. So, the main thing you need to remember is if you're drawing on the right side of a form, lines have to go back to the right vanishing point. If you're on the left side of the form, all the lines go back to the left vanishing point. Okay? So let's start with a door. Pretty simple. So first we're going to figure out the height of your door. And if I'm doing this side, it's going to be on the left. If I'm doing this side, it's going to be on the right. So let's do one on the right here. And I'm going to figure out how high, like how tall you want your door to be. So I'm going to put my ruler on the vanishing point, and then I can slide. Do I want it to be really short? Do I want it to be really tall? Where do I want it? I think I want it right here. So I'm just going to draw a really light line across, right there. And then I'm going to do two vertical straight lines to figure out how wide I want my opening to be. Okay? Once you figure that out, these little lines right here, you can just erase those. And then you can line back up with the vanishing point for the top and make that line bolder. And now you have the start of your doorway. But you can make it a double door, a single door, whatever you want. If you want double, you'll just do one straight vertical line like that. And then you can add your little details for door handles. Let's do it again. So if I'm on the left side, I'm going to go back to the left vanishing point. So again, I'm going to figure out how tall I want my doorway to be. So I'm going to line it up with that vanishing point. Figure out how tall. Draw a really light line for the height. Do two straight vertical lines. Like that. Erase the little lines on the sides. Line back up at the vanishing point to make that top line bolder. And then again, if you want to do double doors, you do a straight vertical line. And then maybe you want to do different kind of door handles. Maybe you want to do kind of some bars going across the way. So I could do one line there, go up a little bit, do another line, and I could kind of have some bars there. And maybe I want to do little handles here. I could also do a frame around the door. I could just draw two straight vertical lines like that. And then to connect, I'm on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go back to the left vanishing point. And I'm going to connect it at the top like that. You also could do a little accent above the doorway that looks kind of like a curve. So what you do for that is you want to figure out the height, which you want your curve to look like. I think I want mine about right here. I'm going to draw a really light line like that. And then I'm just going to kind of go all the way up to the height of that line and just make a nice curve. So you can put like a little detail there, and then you can erase that guideline that we made. Okay? So that's a couple ways to make doors. Now maybe you just want to do an opening so it looks like there's a floor or a ceiling to it. So it's going to be the exact same way as the door. We're going to figure out how high, how tall we want our entryway to be. I'm going to draw a light line. And then same as the doors, I'm going to draw two straight vertical lines for how wide I want to make my entryway. I'm going to erase those little guidelines. And then we're not doing a door. We want to make it look 3D, like you can walk inside of it. So the easiest way to figure this out is if we're on the left side here, when you're walking in, you're going towards the right. So in order to make this floor, we have to draw a little line from this corner back to this right vanishing point. So I'm going to line up at the right vanishing point, slide up to the bottom of this corner. I'm just going to make a line, so now we've got a floor right there. Okay? And to kind of distinguish it, we're going to do a little bit of shading, so it's going to be darker. And then it's going to get a little bit lighter. And then it's going to be super light on the edge here. So think about it as a cave. If you're on the outside, it's going to be lighter, and then the further you go back in, it's going to get darker. Okay, so that's on the left side. Say we want to do it on the right side. We're on the right side, so we're going to go back to the right vanishing point. So again, I'm going to figure out how tall I want my entrance to be. Make a light line. Do two, maybe I want this one to be kind of skinny, 2 vertical lines. Like that. Erase those guidelines. Make this top part bolder. Now, we're on the right side, but if we're walking in towards the left side. So that means we have to draw a line to make the floor to the left vanishing point back here. Okay, so I'm going to line up the left vanishing point, go down to this corner edge, make a line, and now I've got my other floor. Same kind of thing, you can do a little bit of shading, make it dark, get a little bit lighter, as you kind of come out like that. Okay, so we've got doors, we've got entrances. Now let's do like a little wall detail here. Maybe on one side you want to do bricks. Okay, so if I'm on the left or the right side here, all my lines are going to go back to the right vanishing point. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide how wide I want each row of my bricks to be. Do I want it to be this skinny? Do I want it to be really fat? What do I want it to look like? I think I'm going to go like this. So I'm just going to draw a line, move down, make sure your ruler's at that vanishing point. And you're just going to move down, check the vanishing point, move down, check the vanishing point, move down, check the vanishing point, and you're just going to keep going all the way down to wherever you want it to be. I'm just going to go all the way down to the bottom here, like that. Now, if you want to do bricks, you need to alternate them. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, again, you need to do straight up and down vertical lines. I'm going to kind of space out how wide I want my bricks to be. Okay, now for it to look like bricks, we have to draw lines in the middle of each brick. So I'm going to go to the middle of this one, make a line. Go to the middle of this one, make a line. And go to the middle of this one and make a line. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way to the bottom. Now, if it looks like there's not really a middle for you to go through, you're going to skip that one and just keep going down. So I'm just going to keep adding my lines here. Remember to make these straight, otherwise it's going to look pretty weird. All right, and then I've got bricks. Okay, so you could do thick bricks, thin bricks, however you want it. Now, we've got bricks. To do windows, it's the exact same thing, but you're going to kind of space them out a little different. Okay, so let's do windows on this one here. Okay, so I'm going to make 2 big windows. So what I'm thinking about doing, and you could put it on a scratch piece of paper, is if this is the side of my building, I think I want to make 2 really big windows. So if you look, there's space up here, a window, space here, window, space. So I have to draw lines to show that. So we're on the left side, so I'm going to go back to the left vanishing point. So I'm going to go from the top, I'm going to go down a little bit. To make that space, I'm going to draw a line across really lightly. Then I'm going to come down, however wide I want my window to be, make a line. Then I need space in between my windows, so I'm going to go down a little bit, just like the top, make a line. Now I'm going to make my window about that high, go there. And I'm going to do another one right here. So space, window, space, window, space. Now, I have to make the sides of my window for how wide I want them to be. So you're going to do those vertical lines. And what's nice about this is I'm just going to make the lines for my ruler right where it is. So I'm going to go, sorry, my autofocus is kind of weird. There we go. I'm going to do a line here and then a line here. So I've got the left sides of my windows. I'm going to come over here, do straight lines. So now I have a window here and I have a window here. Now you could leave these lines for these openings as an accent if you want. But if you only want to see the windows, you're just going to erase those little guidelines. So then you got two separate windows. Okay? Okay, so now I've got my windows, but then there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can make it so that they're separated like this. Maybe you want to do kind of small window panes like this. So there's kind of a pattern like that. Or if you want to make it a little bit more 3D so you can kind of see the thickness of the wall, we're going to do a similar thing that we did with this opening down here. Okay? So if we want to see the edge of this wall right here, we need to draw just a little diagonal line back to the opposite vanishing point. So we're on the left side, so we need to go back to the right side. So I'm going to put my ruler on the right vanishing point here. I'm going to come up to this edge, and I'm going to make just a little line like that. You see that right there? Now, I'm going to go back to my left vanishing point to make a line here to show the thickness of the wall. Like that. Sorry, my autofocus is not good. And then to connect it, I'm going to do a straight up and down vertical line like that. And then if I shade it a little bit, makes it look more 3D. And then I could even come in and do a little window pane in here. Okay. So I think I've got a little bit of time left in the video. I'm going to do kind of some like big windows here. A lot of them. So I'm going to do the heights of my windows here. Let's see here. I'm going to go here. Then I want a space in between the windows. So this is the top of the windows. Come down. Another space. And then come down. Okay, so now I'm going to make several windows here. So I'm going to have a little bit of space from the edge of my building. I'm going to come over and make the other side of my windows. Have a little space in between. Make another window. Have a space in between. And then I'm going to have my last window here. Okay, so a little bit easier for you to see. I'm just going to kind of shade each one of my windows here. So then when you go to erase your lines, it makes a little bit more sense. So I have them alternating. And then you just go through and erase the little lines in between here so that you have separate windows. Okay? So those are the main things that you need to know for your Cityscape for Details. You've got the 3D entrances, you've got doors, you can do bricks or kind of siding texture, you can do windows, you can do space windows like this. But make sure to look at the examples that I have on Schoology so you can get kind of some different ideas. You can overlap your buildings, you could make towers, kind of whatever your creative vision is for this project. Thanks for watching.